Well, would you look at that? Another week, another blunder by a big gaming company, but this time it's Nintendo. Nintendo's actually been doing pretty good comparative to all the other gaming companies. Even Steam is involved in the meme of companies shotgunning themselves in the mouth. But this one is just kind of like a really frustrating thing that's kind of screwing over gamers and nothing to do with like price increases. So at least it's a different kind of screw up. And this episode is all about the Kingdom Hearts cloud-based games, the Switch 1 versus the Switch 2 native version of running these things. So basically, if you were someone that fell for the propaganda of cloud games run fine if you're in the US and bought the Kingdom Hearts Switch 1 cloud-based version, you're getting screwed over once again. So fans of this beloved franchise have been hearing that they could play games on the Switch. That's amazing. You can take your favorite really, really long games with an annoying duck that doesn't properly heal you anywhere you want. You can take it to grandma's, you can take it to the gym, you can take it to your campus. I don't care, I'm not judging. And then we found out it was cloud-based. So if you are living in Japan, you won't really have much of a problem with this if you had bought it back then, because Japan just has a really good internet infrastructure setup, whereas those of us living in the US, no, we do not. So it was very interesting doing some research for this video because I found out that Japan actually has a plethora of cloud-based games that even include fighting games, which are known for you cannot really have much delay or else you're going to just constantly lose. So apparently they can do cloud games too. Who knew? Us over here in the US, we cannot because they run horribly. So if you're someone in the US who has what is considered normal internet, you're probably still going to run into like issues with lag, frame drops, really bad delay, sometimes the game even crashing or not wanting to boot up in the first place. And you can very, very possibly end up with a game that just cannot be played. So I guess Nintendo finally found out about this however many months later after the cloud-based games came out and flopped, along with every other cloud-based Nintendo game that has launched in the US. And they decided, hey, we're going to make things right, and on the Switch 2, you know, our better, more powerful console, we're going to give you them native. The only problem is that means what happens to the Switch 1 version? They're on cloud, and that server's gonna get shut down. So basically, on the 9th of June, you were no longer able to buy the Switch 1 cloud versions of the games. And on July 9th, you will no longer be able to play the games even if you've purchased them because the cloud servers are going down. So that just basically means you've lost the games. You cannot access them, there's no way to get them, you're basically just screwed. And the bright side, the silver lining that Nintendo is trying to push is if you are a sad soul that bought these games and obviously want to continue playing them, you have a 50% discount when purchasing the Switch 2 versions. Which, I mean, that's fine, that's great, but you still are out more money than you would have been if you just never bought them in the first place and just bought the Switch 2 version. And also, if you were a physical collector, like myself, as you can see, I would be wanting to buy physical even if I was used to the Switch 1 versions being digital. Then you don't get the discount. The discount only is available for those who buy the digital versions on Switch 2. So do I think it's crazy that they are taking away an essentially broken version of the game and making you pay again for it? Yes. Do I think that this is actually a silver lining that you get 50% off the games when you buy it again? Not really. This to me feels very much like corporate greed. Like, why couldn't you have just done what you did with other games and maybe if you needed to make money that desperately, have like a $5 to $10 upgrade path like you do with a plethora of other Switch 1 to Switch 2 games? Why do they need to buy the whole thing again? Is it because it's cloud-based gaming and you can't do cloud to native? Is that the issue? There's no way something better couldn't have been put in place. But if you are someone that goes ahead and does get the Switch 2 version and you have save data from the Switch 1 cloud version, luckily Nintendo has said that the save data will transfer, so you should seamlessly be able to pick up the Switch 2, download the save data, and pick up right where you left off, and hopefully have a smoother gaming experience. Now, here's the cherry on top for why a lot of fans are upset. What do you do if you never upgraded to the Switch 2? You're just simply out of games you paid for. Yeah, not a lot of people jumped at the $450 launch price, as was expected. The price, even though not crazy compared to the other new-gen consoles, really shocked the internet, and people were taking puck shots at it left and right. And especially with the economy being how it is, prices of everything going up, a lot of people are obviously cutting luxuries, which include video games and new consoles. If your Switch 1 works fine and you're not super eager to play any of the exclusives that have come out so far, why would you spend your hard-earned money that needs to go to rent, food, or utilities on a Switch 2? Now, I am someone who got the Switch 2 simply because my mom wanted me to have the new console because I wanted the new games. I didn't need it, but she was just like, I'm gonna get it for you for your birthday. So I have it. Do I think that it is good? Do I think it's worth the upgrade? Personally, yes, if you have the disposable income. Keyword being have the disposable income. I think it's nice. I think it runs stuff really well. It feels solid. It feels not super premium, but also it does not feel cheap at all. The screen is so much nicer. It's so much bigger. It's a lot easier on my eyes. But a lot of people were quick to jump on, oh, well, not a lot of people upgraded. They kind of think that it's more like the PS4 to PS5 thing, where actually the Switch 2 has sold, 3 million more units than the original Switch? And 84% of those Switch 2 owners were previous Switch 1 owners. So that's honestly pretty good for, conversion and upgrade rates. Just gonna put that out there. I was shocked when I found that out. I honestly thought it was kind of like the PlayStation debacle. So now I go into the question of, is this going to be another push to get people to buy a Switch 2 before the price increase? Because if you are keeping up at all, and I even did a video about this not too long ago, the Switch will be increasing by $50 to $500 for the console on September 1st in the US, Canada, and the UK. Obviously convert your prices to the actual country if you're in somewhere that's not the US. That was the US price, $450 to $500. But I did think that the delay in increasing was very nice of them, but also a tactic to get people to panic purchase, which actually, funny enough, one of my coworkers did. She panic bought a Switch 2 and then canceled her order, and now she's like, I'm actually going to save up money, but I am going to get it before September. So it did work on my coworker. But I wonder if this is just another push, like, hey, we're making fewer games that are cross-play compatible with the Switch 1. We are removing some games and being like more of a forceful push compared to PlayStation, who didn't really push the PS5 because they really weren't able to. I wonder if Nintendo's just like, screw that, we're not going to be the PS5 with the Switch 2 and we're going to just full force go into it. So we need to make people want the Switch 2 as much as possible. So let me read some of the thoughts that I wrote down. That way I don't stumble over them. So let's take a step back and see what we're really talking about here. Players bought a game that ran horribly for an entire region because cloud-based gaming just isn't compatible with our current internet infrastructure. So players who spent money on the game either couldn't play the game they paid money for, or they had to struggle through terrible play sessions to play any of it. Now the game is going offline and there is no way to access the game. This hits the Stop Killing Games point of view like really spot on for why service-based games are detrimental to the consumer. You pay for the games, and then the game doesn't go the way the devs want, or they no longer want to support it. The game could even be doing well, and they still decide to shut it down to focus on something else. Look at Destiny 2. And this does hit a lot harder because many times these things will happen with multiplayer games, like Destiny 2, or something like if Fall Guys shut down, it's multiplayer based. Or the multiplayer portion of a game, like a lot of, if you watch people that are platinum hunting, they'll say, oh, I can't platinum this because the multiplayer section got shut down, so I can't get those trophies. This is for a single player game. We're seeing the same effects as stuff like Concord, the server's getting shut down because you can't access multiplayer, but this is a single player game, and it's happening because it was cloud-based. So for some reason, for a single player game, you still need to access the internet to get into the servers. That's why people don't like cloud gaming. In addition to, it runs horribly in the States. It's just not giving people high hopes for the future of gaming, and hopefully this is not going to be the future of gaming, because we're already seeing a huge shift away from live service games because that era thankfully is done, but it leaves the question of what are they going to make next? Now, even though I'm part of the yes, totally upgrade the Switch, it's great, I really understand that people just don't really have that money to throw around, and once again, if your old games still run fine, there's no need to upgrade. So this is the information regarding Kingdom Hearts that I was able to gather. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think this is a good move by Nintendo, axing the cloud game? Do you think that they should have gotten a refund or some kind of promotional code to get the Switch 2 version for free or at a higher discount than just 50% off? Because these are expensive games. It's just the idea of yoinking the OG games with basically nothing to show for it that I don't like. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and thank you for listening to this episode of Game News. If you liked the messy game news style that I do here, give me a thumbs up to let me know that you enjoy it, and I will actually keep looking into stuff to do episodes on. And if you really like me, you can look around the channel, see what else I do, and you can hit that subscribe button for me. Thanks. I'm blurry, but I'm gonna let you go now.